All right, cool. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, welcome back, guys and girls. And this is me obviously showcasing Neo. People might be thinking, oh my God, he's selling another indicator. He's doing this, he's doing that. Yes, I am doing it. Yes, I am, because we're here to make money. And this is making some bloody stinking money, people. This is making some bloody stinking money. So, yes, I am back here. And you're going to watch the video. You're going to love what you bloody see. That's what you're going to do, yeah, because there's flipping money here. And that's what we're here for. So I want to just go through a couple of the trades that came through either this week or through the last like week or so, just so you can get it. Now, obviously, straight away, I'm just going to check the chat just to make sure I'm not missing anything. We're duh, 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 duh. All right, cool. I'm not missing anything there. Boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. I'll go back to that question after. I just want to get into this. Straight away, you can see that there is a long and short tool entry. What you can see right over here on the screen is automatically generated for you on Neo. You do not have to do anything. And to make it even better for you guys and girls, the last thing I did right now in an update was I added the alerts to this, and with these alerts that I've added to this whole setup at the moment, I've actually managed to put it in a way where obviously you won't be able to see it on this right now. It's in the Neo VIP group, because I've added an additional version of these alerts, which means that you have to use the any alert function call. But what I've got for every other member right now, if you was to purchase Neo and have it around this area here, it will show you, do you want to have alerts for a long setup, or do you want to have alerts for a short setup? It's there, it's in the group. If you click the link in the description below for the Neo VIP, for the Neo channel on Telegram, you'll see the picture that I uploaded. So it's all there for you guys and girls. For me, I've got another version that I'm working on, and it's not ready yet. So therefore, I have to release it once obviously I see it works. But this version is going to give you the alert, and it's also going to have all of this information here for you as well. So I'm at a point where I don't know how much more I can do for any trader than if you get an alert that tells you what pair to trade, entry, stop loss, and it's going to say the lot size that you can add into your trade, basically. I, you pretty much, yeah, and on top of that, you can set it up with an automatic algo system, so it can automatically trade your accounts. We're pretty much going clear from there. That will be an automatic trading bot. But right now, you can easily just get the alerts that will pop up here that will tell you there's a short trade on maybe Dixie or whatever pair that this actually appears on. What you have to do though is you have to set up a watch list as well. So if you set up a watch list, you can see I've got 38 pairs in my watch list. So that means that any one of these 38 pairs that gets this alert, one of these alerts, a long or short, it will appear as an alert, and I'll be able to now go to that pair and then see the levels and then enter this into my phone. Simple. Or you can enter it into your prop account that might be online, or you can enter it into TradingView if you trade with TradingView. But like I said, the next part of this update I'm looking at, I just need to test it this week. That's the next part. Everything else is already out. It's already there. You can get it right this second if you message me. Yeah. The next part is to get these alerts, get this information into the alerts, which I'm literally going to test this week. Obviously, if I haven't tested it, I can't give it out to you, because I might give you some rubbish, and then I'm just going to hear complaints, and I don't want to hear that. So yeah, that's that part there, guys and girls. I just thought I'd say that is the latest update, and we're going to go through the secondary update that I did during the course of this week as well. So you can see here's Dixie. This was a nice winning trade for us this week. If we were to take this trade as Dixie, I actually trade the majors. So the fact that Dixie was giving me a Neo sell trade setup, I just went to the other majors like AUG, EU, NU, USD CAD, USD CHF, USD JPY, and looked for a trade setup. We had Dixie giving us a trade setup here, and I'm even just going to make it nice and quick for you. When we went over to USD JPY, what actually happened at this point, we actually had a sell trade setup that appeared on here. As soon as this loads up, boom, you can see we had a USD JPY entry that appeared on the Wednesday, and I gave this signal out to every single person for free. So if you do not join the Neo channel, that's in the link in the description below. The link for that channel is there. If you don't join, that's on you now, because I'm giving out free trades in order for you to be able to get money to purchase this. All you have to do is at least take the initiative to take the trade, win or lose. If you're not capable of winning or losing, I'm sorry, there's no point messaging me, because I don't run the markets, and no matter what I create, I cannot give you insider trading information. All I can do is create something that's good enough for us to get an entry for a buy or a sell. It's as simple as that. So I'm giving out these trades for free at the moment. Obviously, I'm going to stop at some point because it's not fair for people that do take the commitment to obviously invest into my hard-earned efforts of hours sitting here, people. I want to make that clear for the YouTube video, hours of sitting here. I'm talking 10 to 15 hours of coding certain times when I was creating this. So please just appreciate the fact that's why I'm asking for money for this product. I wasn't just doing nothing in 1 second. This took me days and weeks to create with my eyes burning at the screen, falling asleep at the screen with drool coming out my mouth. And it would look like a candlestick, the drool as it was. I'm just playing with you. I was playing with you. But yeah, you get my point, guys and girls. So let's just go through some of these pairs. So we've got Euro GBP as well. This was last week. This trade came through, and you can see here again all the information clear. Neo prints this trade for you just to show you in replay mode how this happens. So we're just going to go here. Sorry, when I add zoom, for some reason it goes a bit slow. So it's not this slow when I don't have zoom open. So I do apologize. I've got some things on my chart. You don't have to have everything on your chart, but I've got some things to be able to show you guys and girls during this Zoom call. So boom, you can see it obviously opened up here on the Monday, the 24th of November. It's given us our entry, stop loss, and free take profit levels. We can obviously see price action now as basically it's tapped into this level here, I believe so. My eyes are a bit shady here. Just give me a second. Boom. So I know we had a Euro GBP tap in here. Pretty sure we did. If we didn't, we didn't. But yeah, we have Euro GBP anyway that came up with a trade setup. I'm pretty sure there was a tapping. I don't know if I had it on a different setting when I had this one picked up, but yes, we had Euro GBP as a possible trade sell set up. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. Here's the tapping. My bad. There you go. So here's the tapping of this trade setup. Obviously, it didn't hit stop loss. Yes, it went really close, but this is what the market will do to you, no matter what you want to do. This is why I said I don't run the markets, so don't shoot the messenger that's trying to just help you out for a very cheap price. Yeah, this is what happened. It got you in the trade. You didn't lose this trade, and obviously it kept going after it managed to hit this trade and got you in for a boom, boom, boom. There you go. You even got another possible one appearing here, by the way, as well. But that's if it pulls back into this area here. So you can see how it's going on. Boom. And you even had a buy trade set up in there as well. Now, some people might ask, why don't some of these trades appear when it's not in replay mode? The reason why it doesn't is because obviously it's got to save the amount of data that it's producing on the chart, but you can easily go back to replay mode. You can leave it running, and I'll go over the strategy tester table once we get through this as well. So obviously there's only so much data you can literally put on a chart, people. No matter how much you want, there's only so much I can do and what TradingView is actually capable of. I'm literally near the limit of trading now. Literally, anytime I try to update anything on this or put something big enough, it tells me, hey, this is the limit. So unless I start creating another indicator with additional stuff, which can't have all of this on there, plus the update of the whatever else someone suggests, then do you understand? We need to start actually trading what we have here, which makes money. But there you go. There's Euro GBP there. I just have to say things very clear for every single person that's watching this. Sometimes some people I don't know, maybe they don't understand me, maybe it's not clear enough for them. I'm just letting them know. We have Euro New Zealand. This was a signal trade I gave out to every single person last week. This wasn't even the main entry that was even here. This entry I don't think got hit. The entry was it this one here Thursday? No, it was this entry here, but this was over here. So don't worry about it being here. This was actually over here, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, just so you can see it in the replay mode. Boom, boom, boom. So you don't have to worry again. Somebody else might come to me and say, does the indicator repaint? No, it's not going to create one trade setup and then the trade setup is going to be basically not be in that same position it was before. If it ever flashes on and off, it could be because a candle is trying to create itself within that day because it has to read the daily time frame as well. That's one of the confluences. So if you're on a 4 hour chart, obviously, if the daily time frame's moving sometimes, you might get that, but the indicator does not repaint. If it gives you an entry, it's not just going to tell you that the entry level was at, I don't know, 100, then you come back to it and it's telling you the entry level was at 200. It doesn't do that, people, and you can test it for yourself. So here you go. Here's the trade setup that came through on the Wednesday, the 26th, right here. You see, boom, boom, boom. And with this, there you go. This was obviously a winning trade setup when it goes here and we keep moving it forward. Boom. So there you go. This trade hit 3R, take profit. You understand? So that was a nice, simple, clean trade. So boom, we move on to the next one. We've got USD CAD. Now, this would have been an absolutely beautiful, sensational trade if we managed to get into it. In this week, I actually caught this buy trade setup. This was a very small one, but it was a 1 to 3R as well because I've got it set to 1 to 3. You can see here, again, here was the sell trade. This is what Neo's trying to do for you. So I want people to understand this. Even when you take losers with this, because people would want it to have a 90% win rate, 85% win rate, and all that stuff. I'm trying to tell people you don't need that high of a win rate. And I think that's what's scaring some people, that just because they're not probably seeing a 90% win rate or 75% win rate, they're getting scared. But I'm like, it's going to produce these trades for you as long as it's creating more risk to reward in a positive. So your P&L is more positive when you're winning trades. You shouldn't be concerned. And again, I've even coded something in there for you guys and girls to be able to see that. And again, I'll go over that when I get into Euro USD. So, but you can see here, this would have been a perfect trade. There was a Oracle zone that you can see over here. So this Oracle zone here, it appears every single day at market open, and it's giving you a great area of where price can buy or sell from. So of course the indicator has it coded into it, this short and long tool, to be able to give you the positioning, whether it's going to be a short or long trade. You don't have to overthink that. So there was one here at this point, right here. If I'll go back to replay mode, but obviously price action didn't go back up to this level. But you can see what Neo was actually trying to pick up for you here when we look at this sell trade setup. So again, it came from here and it didn't pull back to this level. But look, if it did come to here, this would have been a, so let me just make this better here. This would have been a 250 pip trade. Neo is just produced for you automatically without you doing anything. You didn't have to do one shred of analysis, people. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You didn't need to look for this flying wombat, teacup, super backwards, Batman flying pattern. You didn't have to do anything. It just created it for you automatically. I've been trading for 6 years now, people. I can see patterns in the market, and I was able to code a method of a pattern that I could clearly see was emerging constantly in the market. Now, all we need to know is, okay, what does that do for our risk to reward? Is it great and is it good enough? And again, I've coded that so you guys and girls can see the power of what we got here. So that's USD CAD. Now, again, I've already gone over USD JPY, the trade that obviously came through, and we took this one as a winner. This was a clear live trade because people will tell me, but you're showing me trades in the past. If you really want to see if I'm showing you live trades, click the link in the description below, the Neo channel. It's there for you. If you can't be bothered to click a link, I can't really help you from there. We got this click a link, and you can sit in the background eating popcorn and say, "Yeah, this guy's a liar." You can eat as much popcorn as you want and see if I'm lying as the trades come through. That's what you can do, guys and girls. I have to say this type of things because if I'm not clear, I keep saying it. People just they try and get onto you about certain silly things when the transparency is right there for you. Do you know what I mean? So all you have to do is literally join the channel and eyeball if you want to. It doesn't really bother me. I'm just trying to show you that it works. You know what I mean? So boom, we got CAD JPY. That was another winner as well. This one actually came through while I was on my Zoom call as well with you guys and girls. So I think I was actually in the Zoom call. The not the last video I dropped, the video before that, I believe it came on. I was actually in the Zoom call live when this one did appear for a trade setup. And this is one, again, being absolutely transparent with you guys and girls, this is one that was flashing on and off. The entry, stop loss, or take profit didn't disappear, but it was trying to assess what the daily candle was doing at the time. So it did flash on and off. But remember, you would have already have got with the new alert system, you would have got the alert for this buy trade setup. So whether or not you went back then, it wasn't there at the time, this box, and then maybe you went back 2 hours later and it was, the trade was still very valid. And remember, again, the next when I go to Euro USD, what I'm going to show you is picking up all of these trades. So you're getting a clear win rate with all of it. So it doesn't matter. It's not that it's picking up a win rate of some that was kind of there and not there and was on, no, everything. So you're basically getting the best case scenario of what you're going to get with the information on that table. But again, this was a winner. You can see clearly what Neo's trying to pick up. What does happen sometimes is obviously news is a factor in the market. So what they were actually obviously clearly doing was holding through for Friday's news here. There was massive CAD news on Friday. This week that's just gone past basically of the market moving. And you can see again, this is exactly what Neo was basically trying to pick up for you, this massive buy trade. This is not something that's just random. We have seen this a good few times with Neo. It doesn't mean it's going to happen in one day straight away, but this is what it's trying to pick up for you and tell you it's going to happen. And again, you had to do no analysis. This just popped up and look at the trade it was trying to produce for you. This is the system that I've created for you guys and girls. Boom, boom, boom. Let's just keep going. Okay, so Euro CHF, this was a trade from last week. This wasn't a trade from this. It wasn't even last week. It was the week before that. That was a possible trade entry. I'm not too sure if this one didn't pull back into the trade, as in it didn't hit the entry. We can go into replay mode if we want to. I'm trying to obviously keep the zoom quicker. Anybody's entitled to do this if they've got Neo. You can literally just go back and check it yourself as well, guys and girls. But you can see that again, the power of what Neo was trying to do. It gave you a buy trade setup, and this is why even though you don't have a 90% win rate with a 1 to 3R, listen to what I'm saying, a 1 to 3R, you still have the probability of being long-term profitable. There's no reason why you shouldn't be, because this is what it's generating more than it's not generating this. You're not going to get, again, it focuses on the daily time frame as one of the confluences here. So you're not going to get a trigger that's going to appear, I don't know, 6 times in a week. So you're wrong. What will tend to happen is that it will kind of ping pong. This I've shown this in an example before. So imagine it's telling you, it's basically picking up that we're getting buying pressure. Then this buy was incorrect. Then it wants to say it's selling pressure. But really and truly, this buy was correct. So you would get a false signal here for a possible buy, a false signal here for a possible sell. But then this buy signal that comes in here would be the correct one. So if you lost here and lost here, you would win here. Do you understand? So as long as you've got a 1 to 3R, you would still be profitable by 1R. This is what tends to happen. You're not going to get 4 incorrect signals altogether. It doesn't tend to happen like that because, again, one of the major factors is using one of the highest time frames, which is the daily. Obviously, there's the weekly and the monthly, but you get my point. The daily is a very strong time frame, and it takes a lot for the banks to put price action in the wrong place 6 times on a daily time frame. It's all about logic. You understand? They don't tend to do that. So you don't have the biggest fear. And this is why Neo works and why I've stuck to the daily time frame and tried to master it as one of my main key points of analysis. Boom. So here's something great. You can even see for the continuation of this buy, this is something I'm going to talk about on other pairs when they come up. But you can see here, this is now what we've got is a multi-time frame support and resistance set up for you, which basically works with it's a multi-time frame external market structure. So it shows you when changes of characters happen in the market, but you can now set it up with the update of Neo that I also did this week. You can set up to a multi-time frame basis. So this is telling us there was a higher high on the daily time frame. And then we also had a higher high on a 4-hour time frame. But you can clearly see here, price was refusing to break this level. And eventually when it did, even if you was a scalper, this was a nice little quick scalp trade. Let's even see how many pips this was. So this one here is more of the manual trading with Neo. That was only 18 pips, but this is more of you're like a manual trader and you're comfortable with that. You can do stuff like that. Personally, I don't trade Euro CHF, Euro GBP, AUD New Zealand, and CFJPY. Those pairs just seem to move very weird, but obviously if you want to trade them, it's up to you. But if you do tend to lose with them more than you don't win, then I would say let the pair go. But again, Neo even gives us a win rate with it. So you can actually go back into replay mode and just run the replay for 10 to 15 to 20 years and see how the results come. Obviously, you can do it with each individual pair to see how it just works for you. But I don't trade this pair. I just don't like it. And I've just got used to I don't need to trade it because there's so many pairs, people. So here is a great example of showing you the newest update of Neo, where we have our higher time frame here. We've got a higher high on the daily time frame telling us a zone. What I have tried to do is we are aware if you've traded for long enough that any type of support and resistance that gets tapped into, so price actually touches the level multiple times, that means that that could be forming a great support or a great resistance. So I've done something where when price actually does this, you get a confirmed amount of touches that are sorry that appears. Now I've given this to people as like a beta test at the moment, this part of the indicator, which is the confirmed zones. It does work and it does give you the information, but I might want to put some tweaks to it to make it a little bit better. I did spend about 3 days trying to get this point here. For some reason, it was just giving me a lot of stress. Again, this is what people don't see when you're asking them to pay for an indicator. They just think, I don't know, you just slept, woke up, and the indicator just appeared on your lap. It's just there for you. And it's just like, hey, like here's free indicator. No, this took me hours, people. This took me like 25 hours to try and get this thing right. That's this one here. Some of them is very quick, some updates take longer. That's just the way of coding. So yeah, but I managed to eventually get to some point, and I said, let me give it to the traders as a tester point so they can see how it works for them anyway until I get it finalized. Like I said, there's so many updates that's come in with this. So again, you can see this has got a 3 times daily confirmed zone. This came through as a Neo trade, as you can see here, automatically for you. So again, using the daily time frame, as you can see, it's using. When it broke through here, it gave you this trade last week, but obviously there wasn't enough buying pressure left because it already did this move. So it had to now consolidate it. So basically accumulation, distribution, accumulation, and what's the other one? I forgot the other one now, but you get my point. There's 3 of them. I'm sorry, I forgot that point. But basically that's what we had. So we had the accumulation in here. Some people call it consolidation. And from that point of view there, we obviously had our buy trade set up that continued as soon as it came through to here. Now, even for you to get an entry into this with no lag in this, so no drawdown, let's call it that, you would have had a zone that appeared here. All I have to do is change the setting to show more than one of these boxes and it would appear. There was a zone there that appeared as well. There, boom. Price action would have broke here and you literally could have had a no drawdown trade. And this was like 100 pip trade on GU. Again, boom, this was like 100 clean pip trade. Do you understand? So that was like your safest entry for the straight clean buy because you're not guessing whether it's going to go down or go up. But what gives you a great indication that it wouldn't have gone down this time or may not have is the fact that now you can see with the update I created last week, this is showing you this is a confirmed um it's basically a turncoat. So it's an old resistance that became a new support, literally. And this is what we can see here right now. Is what most traders tell you to do. You got to wait for price to go to where? Your area of interest. And there you go. It's showing you. So this was more of a manual method. Or if you was already in this trade, this was giving you a confirmation that price is holding. Price can hold this level. And you had a stop loss down here anyway. So that's further than where the zone was. So you're pretty much good for this trade setup, you know? So that's that one there. Let's keep going so I can get through this just so I can get through it. There's NZD CAD here. Now, with NZD CAD, this was a trade that actually went to about 1 to 2. You can see this automatically came up, giving you an entry here from last week. I believe it was last week, Thursday. But when price tapped into it on Friday, this is what held this level again. And then we saw price doing a continuation of a buy trade setup. I believe NZD CAD actually even had an entry here as well. So again, you can just go into replay mode to check everything, which was actually there for you. And some of my settings might have some things off as well, guys and girls. You got to remember, I'm coding Neo, so I'm switching things on and off from time to time. I'm literally doing that just so I can make sure I can see this and see that. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. So there was an entry here. Look, boom, right there. So this is a live entry. You don't have to worry that it's not showing in the live version and then it shows on the replay. I keep telling you, it's all recorded. Like all of this is recorded. When we go into Euro USD, you're going to be able to see what I'm saying. It's all recorded, every single one that appears. It's because Neo can't feed. It's not even Neo. Let's take that back a second. TradingView can't feed so much information into the market because it just literally can't. It's just too much information. And again, I've done this just to make it as transparent as possible for everyone. So you can see here, this was the entry. Let's even just mark this one here, just in case that disappears. Let's just mark it. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. So it is the trade there. Yeah, it's the same trade. And you did have the entry. And then obviously it tapped in. And then you almost had a 1 to 2. So boom. So here. So you would have had that. So yeah, this is fantastic. This is fantastic so far. It's fantastic. Let's go. Let's keep going. Uh, let's keep going. Boom, boom, boom. NZDCHF. This was another trade that came in. Let's leave this because I want to make sure that it's all the way there. Boom. There we go. Let's see. Let's see this like this first. Get loaded. Boom. So NZDCHF, I don't believe this one would have tapped in from here if it did tap in. So it wouldn't have. But even if that didn't tap in, now if you're the more advanced trader, you can actually see here from the confirmed zone that's here. When price action did what? It broke above this zone. When it broke above this zone, this is where you saw what? Confirmed free. Now you saw price holding this level. Yes, it's not going to do this every single time without fail. It's literally not going to do that, people. I want you to know I am not here to try and sell you a pipe dream. No, I'm not. I'm here to just make your trading analysis and your day-to-day trading way easier. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not going to sell you a pipe dream and say, yeah, well, as soon as this is there, enter trade, it will buy, you'll make money. No, I'm not. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to tell you it makes your trading a lot easier if you can come to the chart and see that, oh, price has broken up. Is this going to continue to buy? There's a confirmed zone times three. So if I am going to risk any type of trade today, it makes more sense that I risk this one than risk something that has no clear direction. So this again is more of an advanced manual version of trading, but I'm trying to cater for two audiences here with Neo. There is the people that are the absolute beginners that can just follow the long and short tool, and there's people that can actually use more of the elements in Neo to trade further. But I will say this, and I'm saying it clean and clear. If you're not making money with the long and short tool, please do not message me on how I can trade better with other things. It doesn't make sense. You're just creating stress you don't need to create for yourself. If there's 10 trades that don't work that you take with this long and short tool, and you can prove to me that there's something wrong here and you're not making money, then one, we're going to 100% talk about it so we can work it out and say, oh, what happened there? Because I'm willing to work with people. I'm not here just to tell you, shut your mouth and don't say anything. No, I'm here willing to work with people. Just be respectful about it. You don't have to start giving your analysis to 25 people and telling them that, yeah, look, John said this, and don't do all of that. There's no need to do that. You can speak to me. Like, I'm not going to hide your information. I will speak about it openly. Do you know what I mean? Just speak to me. I'm here. So there's that one. And then two, what was I going to say? Yeah, just make sure you're seeing some long-term consistency before you start now deciding to, oh, let me do this, let me do that, let me do this. It's just not necessary, people. Like, actually try and make money with what's in front of you. And I've managed to do it because I'm actually trading about 10 to 15 people's accounts. I got to double check it. It's between 10 and 15 people's accounts. And I'm trading 33% risk per trade using Neo. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, and there's no way for me to hide that as well, people. There's no way. You understand? Like, I can't hide and lie about it. I'm literally using the, I've shown people the trade I've taken. I've explained in the group with those traders that are there. Do you understand that have decided to stay? Thank you very much for staying. If you watch this video, I appreciate you. Yeah. I've literally told them exactly why I'm taking the trade, what's going on, what I've seen on Neo. So there's no way for me to hide under rocks about what's going on here, you know? So that's NZDCHF. Boom. Let's just move on, move on, move on. USD, sorry, US 30. So we had previous buy and sell trade setups on here. So I just want to show you, look, this one tapped in here. This one went to about almost or probably just over 2R automatically on US 30. This one here, more than likely, if you got your tap in here, this was a buy trade setup all the way for 3R. This one here was a short trade setup. This was 3R. This one here, this one definitely came after. I know that for a fact because we took this trade, but I still was able to, with Neo, catch this trade setup based on what I could see. So this was great for us to be able to just have that live in the market. And even here, now, this is another method, which I'm going to go in more with gold. But look at this, guys and girls. You'll see the pattern of what I'm saying with this. So now we can see here that price action has obviously created a lower high on the daily, meaning that price action from a daily perspective could sell. That's fine. So we have to be patient. Now what we do is we go along here and then it gives us the indication that price action has created a higher low on the daily. So that means that, hold on, we could actually be forming a uptrend on this market right now because we've got a higher low. So from this point here, now what's the next thing you're waiting for? You're just waiting for price action to do what? Which again, if you add more than one zone here, you will get this information. You're just waiting for price action to break above this lower high. And when it does that, you're going to get you're going to get your confirmation of a buy trade coming in. Now, obviously, you can see what price did here. I don't know if it went down first, then went up, or if it went if it just went sorry, or if it went up and then came down and then went back up. I'm not too sure. But this is what you can't control in Forex sometimes. You can see here, pardon me, even if a zone was here and you tried to put your stop loss here, you would have got stopped out. They're not stupid, guys and girls. You understand? They're not stupid when this happens. They're aware of where these things are. And when this happens, it's actually a good thing because it shows you you're on to the right ideas of when you should be entering trades or where you should be entering trades. But of course, they're going to take you out. The same thing I say, you can't win every trade. But you see, as soon as price action broke above here after it created the higher low on the daily, so you even got a higher low and a lower low, then you got a lower high here, boom. If you're actually good with market structure, you're actually going to be able to use this multi-time frame market structure thing, the change of characters, external market structure very well. And you can see, boom, then price action brought up. So it's actually just a patience game. This was another one on gold. Where was Euro used? Okay, yeah, I know why. It's a different color. So this is another one on gold here. It's not gold, sorry, silver. This was actually a trade that we were able to take from last week. You can see how big this trade was. So you can see from already what I've shown you that there's way more bigger trades than there's smaller trades. And remember, we're only matching this up to a 1 to 3 R. If you actually was to take bigger amounts of R, I'm not saying that you're going to have a higher win rate. You're probably going to have a lower win rate. As we know, this is what happens when you go for bigger risk to reward, but you can actually make a lot more money. And when we say a lot more money, technically we could do the maths to it. It can show you on the table. You might not get crazy amounts more. You could probably get 5K more instead of the 10K, which is not terrible. It's 50% more, but sometimes it comes down to your psychology if it's worth it. If your psychology can't handle taking multiple losses in a row, then just don't do it to yourself. But yeah, this was silver here. Look what happened here as well. You had a confirmed zone. This is the first one we saw. So this is a 4 hour zone. I've got my colors set up. So green and red is the 4 hour, blue and gray is the daily. And this is the first 4 hour zone we've seen. It's very strict at the moment, is why you don't see a lot of free confirmed. So that's why I said I wanted to test it a bit more because I wanted to probably make it a little bit more loose to see the trades it's picking up. But I was just struggling trying to get the coding right. There was errors coming through, and I was just tired at that point. But again, I'm going to play around with it when I get some time and see if I make the confirmed zones a bit more lenient, then what would happen? Where is it picking up trades more? But if not, then what do? We keep it as this because this was very good. Look, as soon as it bounced into this level, that was a clear sign of just, hey, it's back in this level. You didn't have to do nothing but wait for it to come back here. When it came back here, you saw some type of buy-in, boom, all the way up to this take profit level here. Done. A very simple trade setup. So that's again for the more advanced manual traders. Now, what we can see here, boom. So this, okay, so this is what I wanted to break down with gold with you before I get into Euro USD. So this is why I took, whoops, I don't want to do that. This is why I took the gold trade setup, so you can see. So, and this is when I gave us a signal to everyone. So if we go here, I'm going to bring it back here like this, so you can see. So this was before the sell came in. That was here, and there's even a logical reason as to why the sell came in. There were some people that asking me, "Why did you take the buy?" Because it was a good buy. Everyone was able to make some Friday money if they took the trade. And literally, if you bought Neo the day before, you would have made your money about 100% on that gold buy because it was a nice buy. It was playing a little bit, but it was a nice buy. So anyway, boom, this is what exactly I did here. So I told everybody from the start of this week that we want to see how price action behaves at first. Then what we saw that price action basically created this daily higher high. So as soon as price action created this daily higher high, my main concern was that unless price action buys above here, which again is automatically printed for you on Neo, we shouldn't be looking for more buyers because all the buyers are above this level. Anything underneath here is possible sellers right now. Anything below, so we can see this is the problem that we have here. We're literally stuck in this zone. So for us to get an inkling, like an idea that we might be seeing some buyers coming in. Again, we got the higher high. We got a 4 hour higher high as well. So I'm like, okay, price is actually showing us we're in a bearish daily pullback right now. Again, because the indicator is automatically printing it for you. So when I saw this lower high, this is when people even saw me in the group because I wasn't paying attention to this higher low here anymore. At first, I was waiting for this higher low, but I was like, hold on a second. It doesn't really make sense trying to trade a higher low if we're on a daily higher high. So it's not really worth it. Leave it. And then we even saw price action starting to do some weird sells and all this type of stuff, which is good. Now we can see here when we've got this lower high at this point here, I was like, okay, cool. Let me see if this really is what it says it is because we're following structure now. Forget everything else you see on the chart. I was actually just following structure. As they always tell us, you don't need anything to trade. You can just trade structure. So I said, okay, let's trade structure. So I actually put the sell trade in there and I was able to get a nice little bit of a sell coming down here on Neo, which I posted in the group for gold. Because again, all I paid attention to was we was on a daily higher high. We even saw a 4 hour higher high there. So that was just an extra confirmation, not needed. Because again, we got a daily higher high and a 4 hour lower high. So it's telling us highest high, 4 hour staircase going down, lower high. So all we should see is a bit more of a push down. So I was able to get that in there. But at that point, I'm still like, okay, I don't know if gold is going to continue to sell the way down or buy up. So I obviously took my profits, left that trade. Again, that was shown in the Telegram groups. Now, when I've seen this lower low here at this point here, That's when I'm like, okay, something's brewing here. At this point, I was still coding the support and resistance that you see now, the external market structure. So I'm like, hold on, let me just see. So we got a lower low here. Then we had extra confirmation. This is what I'm trying to say, that everything in Neo's there for everybody. So if you're a beginner or advanced, the beginner is the short and long tool. The advanced is when you become more clued up in what you're seeing in front of you. I'm seeing that we've got a bullish 4 hour IFVG here. So we've got a higher high, but then we've now formed a lower low. So that's telling us on the 4 hour, we've hit the lowest low. So think about the logic. On the 4 hour, we've hit the lowest low. So I'm like, okay. So if it is going to buy, let's see. Then we got the 4 hour bullish IFEG. Then we also had the oracles on that's already telling us this is where price can buy or sell from today. If it's going to buy or sell, it will start from this zone more than likely. If it's in this zone, it's going to start from here, the move basically. So obviously price action was in this zone, as we can see after the 4 hour IFVG. The 4 hour IFVG was just in here. I've just literally got the setting turned off at the moment, but it was in here. So you can see that boom. As soon as it got in here, all it did is flirt around there. Kept the same thing. Gold kept paid attention to structure. And then what did it do? It just bought off of there. But where was my final confirmation? This red box. Again, that Neo prints for you automatically. And you can see this is pretty much where my entry was. But why I got in is because, again, we're at the point where we've created the lower low. We've even pulled back into the IFVG, and now we're starting to push up. So as we're starting to push up, this is when I'm giving everyone the signal, and I'm like, hey, we're around this point here. Exactly where you can see my entry, and I'm like, gold has the potential to buy. I told everyone, enter your buy trade now. I entered mine. If you didn't enter yours, that's on you people. I gave the trade out from exactly what I'm explaining to you is exactly how my brain processed it in like 5 minutes max. Because I was able to go bing, 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 I'd find it. And then as soon as it broke above here, that was my final confirmation that yes, gold is going to buy. And what happened? Hear me out. Even when it did that, it now pulled back into this area. And I told everyone, you've got another confirmation of an entry for a trade. Just to show you that I'm not lying here, guys and girls, this is the Discord where I post it as well as Telegram. So I post on Telegram and Discord, and you can see right over here. So, where is it? Is it this one here? Yeah, I told everyone, look, enter your gold buys now. Yeah, let's see if I can zoom in on this. Yeah, we can't see the picture too clear, but we can see it here. This is what I told them. You can see the lower low here. Yeah, the Oracle zone. I said, enter your gold buys now, basically. Yeah, boom. That's there. I believe that's there. Yeah, boom. Then I've even told them here, I'm showing you where the profits are coming in live people. This is when I was doing this. So this is where I'm making my profits. This is what I gave to everyone for free on what I'm seeing. And this is obviously my more advanced version of trading Neo. Then we see here as well. Boom. What do we see here? Now I've even told people, look, this is the same re-entry I'm telling you. Nothing here is not transparent. I can't hide it because you guys can just go to your Neo as well and be like, what are you talking about, John? That wasn't there. You understand? I can't hide it. I can't hide it, people, is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not just running, I'm not just giving signal of ghost signal. I'm giving you stuff you can see as well. It's just about learning how to obviously do it. And then here, look, you can see here. So I gave everybody the update. You can see the times. Look at the times in the morning, people. So I've given the chart out. I want people to pay attention to the fact of my no sleeping when I'm asking for money for an indicator. 4:55 a.m. in the morning. Bear in mind, yeah, look, this is the 5th, yeah? Okay, so where is this? Because you can't see in this group. But I've been awake from the 4th of December at 4:45 in the morning when I'm coding the update. I've now also given this signal out to everyone for free. Now look at this time. I've given everyone, I'm still awake at 6:12 in the morning. Yeah, this is when everyone's almost starting to get up. We're talking kids are about to go to school. Yeah, from when I was kissing them on their forehead. They said, good night, son, love ya." Yeah, this is my youngest son. I was kissing him on his forehead, telling him good night. Yeah, he's now waking up with his eyes beady, ready, yeah, for action. Thinking, Dad, you're still there, and I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm still here. And then look, boom. We can see here at this time, I'm still giving you update at 8 in the morning. So bear in mind, I've already been awake from the previous day to just give these people the trades. You understand? And then you can see here again, boom. So this is obviously just me just updating people on where it went to. But that was all of that and why I took gold. Now I want to ask everyone, was it clear enough why I took gold? Because it never had a long entry buy signal. So some people were probably confused to an extent, but I've always explained it that obviously remember the first video I ever dropped on YouTube was about trading gold. I know how to trade gold, did it? Like I literally know how to trade gold, or I know how to analyze gold and trade it, basically. So does that make sense what I just said with gold there? Was it a very detailed, or let me not be too, whatever. Let me just say, was it a detailed enough example of why I traded gold and how I used Neo to trade gold? If you can answer that one in the chat for me, please, people. Just let me know in the chat. Just give me a Y in the chat if it was detailed enough, please. Let me just know in the chat, please. Let's get there. Yes. Yeah, it creates a lower low. Goes on. Yeah, cool. So yeah, that's literally why. Now, the best one would have been, listen to what I'm saying here. Don't miss what I've said because I can see what you've said there creates a lower low with Oracle zone. I didn't just have that. I had the 4 hour IFVG that was here telling me that sell orders have been nullified and buy orders are now kicking in. Do you understand? Look how price is rejecting the 4 hour IFVG bullish. That was there. Again, it Neo prints it for you. I've just got my setting off at the moment. But there, boom. So because I had the 4 hour IFVG here as well, that's what gave me the confirmation that this lower low here could be the daily higher low forming or the daily lower low, whichever one it's supposed to be at this point. But it literally is telling me a support it could be forming on the daily because so I didn't just trade the fact I had a lower low in the Oracle zone. I had the lower low, the IFVG, and the Oracle zone. Do you understand? So that's a free pinpointed place. Then the fourth confirmation was what? Structure being broken. So we had a low, order flow, pull back to the order flow, and then continuation of bullish structure being broken on the 4 hour chart, which is the lower high being broken. That's when I've been like, okay, this makes sense now. This look like a trade. They look like a trade right now. This is the trade we were waiting for some type of buy this week. Do you understand? I'm not too sure, and we can answer that question later on why you might not be seeing your long tool. We'll get into that later so we don't make the Zoom too long, my friend. Yeah, cool. What do you mean? It's not, it's a lot. You said that's a lot, not gonna lie. Do you mean that's a lot in terms of confirmations, or that's a lot to learn? Yeah, yeah. The whole point, I'm not expecting you. If you're not an advanced trader, don't do it. Remember, I didn't tell everyone they should know this trade. I gave the trade to you with the confidence of what I know because, again, I've been trading gold for 6 years, people. If I don't know how to read where highs and lows are coming from, regardless if Neo's doing it or some type of structure breaking to the up or downside, what the hell am I doing? And so remember, I'm just telling people why I gave the biggest win I had this week out as a trade and why I took it and how I was able to make the money off the trade that you saw me guys you saw me posting guys and girl like it's literally there. So I'm not expecting you to understand it straight away. Yes, you can watch it back and anything. I'm not expecting you to go in the market and start trading it. I'm just telling you what I did and why, and you can see the logic behind it, hopefully. So you understand? Cool, cool. No worries, Taurus. So yeah, Yusuf, again, we're gonna have to go back into your one after the Zoom call because obviously I don't want to be stuck here for 10 or 15 minutes trying to figure out why the longest long tool's not working because I swear that's like the second time you said your tool's not working, and I'm not too sure why. Like I swear you had an issue where you had to message trading with you as well. So I'm not too sure why your tool. But remember, if you're thinking that is for gold, it's not for gold, by the way. I don't know if you're looking at what pair you're looking at or you're talking about your whole trading view of Neo. But if you are looking at the gold one, this is a manual long short tool. I'm just saying if you are. If you're not, then obviously we'll have to figure it out after. Boom. So yeah, now let's go into this. So again, I'm not just trying to show you that he's just everything is just beautiful. There's trades. Okay, yeah, this is a trade for just to show you the confirmations. So here again, look at this. So we had three confirmations here, and this was a 5 confirmation here. So we had a breakout for after the 3 confirmation. Look at this as well. This is how beautiful it is, and this shows you market structure before Neo or anything. This actually shows you just market structure, but Neo obviously does automatically for you this setup. We had a daily lower high being broken, so we're going bullish on the daily. We could see this from the 4-hour perspective. Now we're just waiting patiently. Now we've seen that we've also got a 3 confirmed support zone here, basically from this higher low on the 4-hour. Then we went bullish of a break of this zone. When we went bullish of the break of this zone, now even in this day, you would have been in the oracle zone for the buy continuation. But even if you didn't even pay attention to that, just paying attention to the structure and the update I did this week, this confirmation zone with 5 confirmations has been broken. So you had a daily break, a support with 3 confirmations, and 5 confirmations here. So can you see why I've kind of made it a bit strict as well at the same time? So even if I loosen the settings with this, so I make it more lenient, it might be good to have both of them. But like I said, I'm running out of code space because realistically, even if you was to manual trade and there wasn't no entries for the auto, let's just call it the auto trading entries for Neo, yeah, the long and short ones. If you were going to trade manually, this is the type of setup you want to take. Do you understand? Because you got a strong confirmation that this support is being held, this resistance has been broken. That was a strong resistance. We've also had a break on the daily as well. Do you understand? So this is what you'd want to do if you're manually trading it like that. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go here. Let's see here. Boom. Here's another one. So AED New Zealand. So you can see this happening here. Again, you can see price action. This support hasn't got no confirmations, but this resistance here in the 4-hour had at least 3. So when it broke through, look, it just pulled back to this level and then continued to buy. So I would say that's for like safer scout people. Okay, you was looking at gold. Okay, cool. Just so I know. Yeah, it's manual, mate, by the way. I just read your comment now. So that longer short tool was manual. It wasn't a signal on gold. It's me. That's why I was doing the whole teaching. I was trying to tell you how I manually, and I was trying to show people the variations of how you can manually trade Neo as well. So some people, because they get a bit itchy about not having enough trade certain times, I understand. I fully understand. But again, if you're making money from, remember, there's 30, let's say there's at least 30 pairs you can trade. There's no need to stress about trades because they come through. This week, there was still at least about 4 or 5 trading setups this week. You understand? And at least 2 of them hit 1 to 3R. So that's 6R. That's as far as I'm aware. There was at least enough trade setups. I've gone through some of them in this video as well. So there was still something. We have to bear in mind we are in December as well, so the market's going to start to slow down. Let's go to CAD CHF. This was CAD CHF, so this was a trade from last week that tried to give us a trade entry. No, sorry, from the week before. And it's kind of sad because you can see what Neo's trying to do. It's trying to predict these types of setups. So when it came through from here, unfortunately, this one did lose. So I said, obviously, I'm going to show you that obviously is losers. It just wicked your stop loss. And imagine from this wick of the stop loss, realistically, after that, if it never went that low, it never really went much lower than these points here. So it's all these points here. After that, yeah, boom. You can see price action just went all the way up. This is what it was trying to give you to buy for. So you can see how it's trying to figure it out for you, literally. So I gave you that one there. But that was a loser. Let's go here. In the alerts, do we set up? You don't have to do all of that, mate. You don't have to do all of that. You've literally got alerts now, Yusuf. I've made it so dummy proof, and that's not trying to be disrespectful. I've made it so dummy proof now. In the alerts, all you have to do is put an alert for short. Literally, you just have to put an alert for a short entry or an alert for a long entry. You don't have to do nothing else. The most you got to do after that is just enter the trade. Because I was gonna do that ages ago, but my brain just obviously I got carried away with the support and resistance update. But then I was like, hold on, I can do these alerts quickly, and I did the alerts for you within like 30 minutes, you guys and girls. So just before the Zoom call. So I was like, the first thing I learned to code, by the way, was alerts. That's why I was able to do it so quick. It's literally the first thing I learned from 2020. Literally was alerts on like a different indicator. It was like the beta version of Neo, the most betaist version of Neo that you'd ever dream of. I've still got pictures of it in the free Telegram group. Um, but yeah, all you have to do is set alerts. If you've updated it from when I told you to update it just before the Zoom call, right click on it and you'll see it says there Oracle Oracle tool long, Oracle tool short. So that's basically this. This is called the Oracle tool, but it's just a long and short tool. So you literally all you have to do is create a watch list. I'm gonna say it to people. I'm gonna say it again. If you don't have the premium trading view, I'm sorry, but we're trying to make. You're literally trying to take thousands and thousands from this market. And remember, this is the world's money. How my wife calls it. So you can't be trying to rob the world's money with £100 or £1,000 and thinking that you're doing the most. You're not doing the most. Like you need to look into getting a premium version of TradingView, people. I'm not going to lie to you. It's something that you might say, I want to do an extra shift a month to have because I feel like it's a disservice if you don't have it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not saying you need it to make money, but if it makes your trading journey easier, then just get it. You understand? Because you can do stuff like that. You understand? You can set alerts on the watch list. You want to set it to once per bar. You can do that. So as soon as the market closes, you can set it for once per bar. You can set it for whatever you want, really. Well, there's no specific setting you could have to set it on, but once per bar just means as soon as it basically appears. So imagine it appears here, right here, yeah. Let's just say as soon as this bar closes, this will appear. That's what it's basically telling you. So you can set it on once per minute, once per bar, or whatever the other setting is. There is no specific setting. It's completely up to you, what works for you. If you don't want to miss a trade, say once per minute. So every single time once it appears, it bing. if you if you're a bit more casual with it, set it for once per bar. I would set mine for once per bar, just so you know, and make sure you're on a 4 hour time frame. Some people are using Neo on lower time frames, all of this, but I don't. I've not used it on the lower time frame, so I couldn't tell you it's going to be great. Obviously, the win rate still works itself out on there as well, which again is great about this, but it is what it is, isn't it? If you want to use it on that time frame, you want to use it there. That's fine. But like I said, I've created it good enough for everyone in these time frames, um, which is the four. It works on a 4 hour, and literally it scans through the 4 hour to the daily to the weekly, as you can see. But you can change these time frames and make it work lower. If it works for you, it works for you. I ain't gonna tell you no. You paid for a system, and if it works for you, it works for you. You know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so what's this one? Yeah, Euro CAD. I was just trying to show the losers in this one. So you can see there are losers. This one tried to give a sell trade, but you can see what it was trying to do. It's trying to pick up the sell that you see here. But sometimes the market will do what it does. It will hold itself before it does the move. So obviously that sell, and you can see what I'm talking about. Look here. So this is exactly what I explained earlier. Again, you can see it tried to pick up the sell trade, yeah, which that failed. Then it came with a fake buy trade, yeah, which failed. There now the real sell. So if it did give an alert here, this would have been your winner. And you can see how big the winner was. So this is what I'm trying to tell people, that you got to let your psychology really understand that Neo's not here to hurt you. It's here to help you. Do you understand? This is where your winner would be. It's picking up these big swings. And sometimes it'll be wrong because the market's going to stretch. The market's going to push because there's no way to factor news apart from switching itself off during news. Do you understand? But therefore, there's news all over the market. You could say high impact news. Yeah, that's something I might be able to put as a filter as well later on. It's not an issue, but you get my point. There's no point being too scared of news because you're going to win and lose trades anyway, even if there isn't news sometimes. But this is what happens. You can see the flip around: loss, loss, 3R win. If there was an entry here, this is what happens. So you don't need to be scared. Um, Euro JPY. This was another loss that was from last week. So you can see here, it tried to give you a short entry. Yeah, it just went under 1 to 1 R. It was a loss, but you can see the same thing it looks like it's trying to do. It looks like at some point it's just going to do a big breakout sell, and this what it's trying to pick up at the time. So it might even give you another re-entry for that, or it might not. It just depends. We have to see what happens. This one here was funny, and this is why I don't use a stop loss. There's certain reasons why I put certain pairs there. So you can see how stupid this was. Look how silly that was. This one just literally whipped you out by this much. And then now look, now price is almost going towards its 1 to 3. Can you see? But you can see what Neo's trying to pick up for you. And really, this is because it probably gapped here, as you can see. If it never gapped and just kind of went down a bit, it probably wouldn't have stopped us out in theory in that trade. So I'm just trying to show people that, yes, of course, you will lose trades as well, even though it does print it. I'm not saying you're going to win everything, but this is still fantastic what it's trying to print, you know? Yeah, I know Nyla took the, nah, I know you took it because you probably used your noodle. You used your noodle. That's why I know you took it. When I saw it, because I saw you said you took it. I was like, hold on, let me go check this trade. So I went to go check it. I was like, yeah, she used her brain for this one still. She used her brain. She used her noodle. And I know what your noodle would be, unless I might not be entirely right. But again, now pay attention to this. So sometimes when you've got these older trades here, remember what I've told you, Neil is trying to tell you that this pair is getting ready to do a move. Now, you might have an issue once, you might have the issue twice, but you're not going to have the issue three times, as I've explained. So let's just say this was the third move in this one. Let's just say. Now, clearly, you can see what's happened here. The same thing. Even if you didn't get this one, let's say you missed it, whatever. Now you're just waiting. Hold on, if this is Neo telling the truth here? Let me just see. What do we see here? Structure was broken. Look, boom. So when the structure was broken here, remember your stop loss is down here. When the structure was broken here, this is your indication for you to be able to put your stop loss down here with lower risk and take the trade all the way to the take profit free. Because Neo is not producing these trades just for no reason, is what I'm trying to tell you. Literally. If it went back to the stop loss the second time, then clearly it's the wrong trade at that point. You could just say, you know what, let me just leave it. Do you understand? But if it's breaking structure towards the direction of where it was apparently the trade, there's an idea. This is what the things that you can learn as you get better with Neo. But I would say don't trade it all on one account. If you're going to start variating with Neo and start becoming your own Neo trader, have different accounts so you can see if I just auto trade Neo, this is the progression I get. If I start doing support and resistance on Neo, this is the progression I get. If I start doing this on Neo, do you understand what I'm saying? If I go lower time frame, this is what I get. And you would be able to now go to each of those accounts and say, okay, this is the most profitable method for me to trade. So whatever I'm going to put the most of my investment money into will be this method. That's what you kind of have to do as a trader, you know? Long position tool was there. Plus it's an index. Yeah, we know that as well. Index is always buy. Nyla's just basically said that, yeah, the long position tool was there, plus it's an index. Indexes obviously buy way more than they sell because they're based on companies, and companies are not supposed to just sell all the way down because the company, whatever companies are within this, they'll just go bust. So yeah, that's that one there. NAS 100 was another trade that just did this. Again, I put this here so to show you I don't trade with a stop loss for these reasons. But I'm not telling you that you don't have to do it. Just take the L because again, Neo works out win rate for you. I'm gonna go over that at the last part of the Zoom. You can see here, look, boom, there was a stop loss right here. And I mentioned to every single person, just so people can see. I gave this trade out for free as well to everyone. Where is it? It was here. Yeah, US Tech. Boom. This is the trade right here. So you can see this is the trade appearing in live market when I gave this out December the 1st. Same exact trade. Yeah, there. Gave it to everyone. So it was in this group and it was also in my Telegram. All the links will be in the description of this video. Just so when you go back and watch it, look, boom. NAS 100 buy trade. You can see me taking a trade here. Boom. I just put 0.1s basically on it. I just do that and just check it, check my margin. Where is it? Yeah, so here I'm trying to see. Okay, yeah, here's what I put. I said yes. It had hit a tiny SL. It hit the tiny SL because the SL was really small, but it never went crazy. Basically into drawdown, and I could see the SL was tight. As I've said for years, I do not use a stop loss, as I've told you. So the stop loss was really tight, as we can see. It was a very small stop loss, wasn't massive for me anyway. It wasn't massive. Obviously, for some other traders, it might have been massive. And I just said, yeah, I'm going to hold this for a bit. Obviously, if I see that it's pushing too much, I would have just said, you know what, let me close the trade, take the loss. But it wasn't too, the most negative I went into, I think it was like £150. So it wasn't too bad for my account size. It weren't crazy. You understand? So, yeah, boom. And then obviously you can see the same as that thing, pattern parcel. What did it do? It's not, Neo's not lying to you. This is what I keep trying to explain. Like, I can't understand how anyone could be so even stressed with this at any point. And I'm not saying people are saying that, but if you do have it, you shouldn't be stressed with it after 1 month because it did the same thing. If it's wrong the first time, cool. If it's wrong the second time, cool. But by the third time, it's more than likely going to kick in. And this is why 1 to 3 R is always nice with it. You can still do a 1 to 2 because by the next trade, even if you're wrong those 2 times, and let's say you're at a break even now, by the next trade, you that one could just be a clean winner, and then boom, you're already 2 R forward. So you understand my point? It's like it's so set up for you. I can't imagine why people wouldn't be running for this if they're struggling with trading. Remember my words, if they're struggling. If you're not struggling, then obviously you don't need Neo. I'm not saying you need it. But if you're struggling with trading and you just don't can't be asked to look for trades, then it's right there for you. That's the whole point of the product. That's why I'm trying to make it affordable. Okay, so Euro USD, this is the last part of the Zoom of what I'm going to go through. If you've got any questions, make sure you have them ready. But yeah, look, so straight away here, this was Euro USD. You can see this was a 3R buy win, clean trade. Boom. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. You're going to get clean trades like this sometimes. They're going to be no issue. 3R buy, clean win. This was almost a 4R. This was a sell that I took in the live market with the accounts that I'm managing, trying to grow these accounts to like 10K, 50K, 100K, and so on. That is the long-term plan, and that's where we're going to get to by God's grace. You understand? Now you can see here what I was trying to do is show you. What was I going to show you here? I was going to show you something specific here. I'm trying to remember now. Just give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, this is what I was going to show you. So yeah, now I was going to switch on this tool for this one here. So you have to go to this one. So now this is also something Neo has, which is flipping. I astounded myself by making this indicator. I don't know about anybody else, but my own mind went crazy. When I made this indicator, I was like, whoa, I've never been able to do this before. And anyone that's been with me long enough knows that I've never been able to do this before. Like, I was just going crazy with it this time. And now we've got something called a short, so we've got a strategy tester. So remember, the strategy tester shows us everything. So like I said, this is already showing us all of the charts. So this is giving us 114 trades going backwards. Yeah. Boom. I've got my risk to reward in the settings set to free. So it's telling me what this is. It's telling me the best risk to reward with this at the moment is set up as a 1R because I set up a setting in there to say, okay, based on the average daily, weekly, and monthly range, what is the best risk to reward? And I've put quarterly and yearly range as well. So it tells you it's a 1R. Obviously, not everyone is comfortable with trading a 1R, but yes, when we change at the end of it, I'll change it to a 1R and you'll see why it's the better one. So here it tells you there was 61 longs, 53 shorts. Um, it tells you exactly the win rate. This is why Neo is so fantastic, I believe. Now, there's no way for me to lie. I keep saying it to you guys and girls. You can see every single pair and its win rate based on the risk to reward that you set up. It tells us that at any given time, you'll have 4 winners and 7 consecutive losers. So if you've got a 1 to 3R, you have to be prepared to take 7 losers in a row at some point. Maybe there was a mad news event during that whole month. I don't know. But at any given point, you could have that. But this is where it becomes even better, guys and girls. So I've set it up so you can also trade hyper growth accounts and playing with the settings with this. Now I've got an automatic setting in Neo that you can just click on the risk parameters and it goes to a hyper growth setting for you. It's already set up just to show you here. So it's literally already set up for you. You can see you just drop down here. So you've got prop settings at 0.25. You can put a custom percent if you want. You've got hyper growth setting that does dynamic hyper growth for you. So basically, dynamic hyper growth basically it will always give you the percentage to double your account. So TP3 would be doubling your account. If you set it to TP2, that will double your account and whatever you set it to. Obviously, you can set it here. You can set the different take profit levels. You can see boom, boom, boom. You understand? In this setting, again, it works out a full risk to reward for you. So even if there's 1 or 2 bugs in this, I will fix it. But I have tried my best to get to like the best levels. You can see how much I've done on Neo. Just give me a break. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying. Like, there's only so much I can code at once. I'm only one person doing this all myself. You understand? So, boom. So anyway, let's go here. So again, this is 33% risk per trade. Starting balance is $100. The end balance here, I got to understand this point. I'm not too sure why this one is coming back as 2.8, but just bear with me on that one. It could be because what I made it work out before I added something else. So again, just bear with me on that. The result is obviously it says 2,700%, but now this might be working independently because I asked, like the way I've coded it, I've asked it basically to say, hey, I've basically there's lines of coding in it. And what I've done is I've added the lines of coding after when I've put this one here. Do you get it? Which is the top one. So I think what's happened is that this is being read this was read at first. And if you see from my post, I added this one here. Do you understand? First, and then I added this one. So I don't think it's merging all of these together, is what I'm trying to tell you. I need to put the coding in for it to be able to add all of it together. So I've got to basically put like the equals and all of this malarkey stuff in it. But yeah, the main point of what I was trying to get to, if I got off on a tangent, is flipping. My brain was going into coder mode there. I was about to start breaking down all the code. But yeah, the max drawdown was only 25%. So this is actually fantastic here when you're actually looking at this. So 25% max drawdown, 28 trades, that gets you to a target of 1 million. Do you understand? $1 million profit on Euro USD. Euro USD is the biggest traded pair in the world in terms of Forex. So 25% drawdown, guys and girls. 25%. You know how crazy that is? That is really not bad. That's what I'm trying to say. If you're doing 33% risk, you only had a 25% max drawdown and you took 28 trades to get to $1 million. That's what Neo's doing for you. And what you can do with this, guys and girls, look, if you've got any questions, get them ready. So you can go to select date, and you can actually do this with Neo, which another trader's done. You can do this with any single pair. Yeah, you can just go back to like, let's just go to, they went to 2005, go to select date, and this is what you can do with Neo as well. So let's just see this one for anywhere now. Let's just see what happens. Now, I'm not going to say you're not going to remember, this is high risk. You can lower your risk, but let's just see if you blow your account. What's this, 2004? Nope. What happened there? What happened there, mate? Select a date. All right, let's do this. Don't know what happened there. Uh, boom, boom. If you've got any questions, get them ready. This is what I need to do. Boom. Let's just go from 2010, January 1st. Select date. Okay, yeah. There we go. What we're gonna do, boom. You can already see this was a free R winner here already. Look, see? This is from 2009, people. The strategy working. I don't want to hear anything. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is from 2009. Do you understand? Are you listening to what I'm trying to tell you, people? It's been working for years, this strategy. Yeah. So look, boom, let's just play it and see what happens. And what you're going to pay attention to is you can even see here in 39 trades, it's telling you now it's a 71% drawdown. But let's just play it and then you see start balance. Let's see the start balance, account balance going up. Let's see what happens. So I think it works better when it's on the prop account, but let's just see. I just want to see. It might be running a bit slow. I do apologize if it is. It's the end of the Zoom, so if you've got any questions, please ask them. Yeah, it's going to be running slow because I'm doing it on Zoom as well. Woohoo. And you see, it'll be updating the winners and the losers as well on this. So I do apologize if it's running slow, but see, there's only so much I can do. When I start making $1 million, yeah, then I'll buy. Don't worry, I'll buy the G215X intercooled. I'll get the ocean water in my computer. Don't worry. So you can see it coming. So there's a loss. There's a loss. You can see it coming with the trade setups. So right now it says it's 31% win rate. Let's just see. Just see where it picks up. Is it running slow for you guys and girls as well? Say it in the chat, just so I know. Just running really slow for me, boy. Yeah, let's just see it. I'll just leave it for a little bit. I'm not going to leave it for too long. I just want to see it. Mhm. Mhm. Nah, you got to update it when you get a chance to now. You got to update it. But yeah, you get the point. And look at the confirmed zone as well, people. You see what he did with the confirmed zone there? So this was a daily lower low that got broken, confirmed zone, and what the price do after for the rest of the week, it sold. So you get the point of the confirmed zones that I did. Let's see this one. Nope, it's another loss. So there you had three losses. You had one, two, three. So remember, it's telling you can have consecutive losses. So let's see. Let's see if this one's a loser. So this one's a loss. Boom. It looks like it's going to be a loss. Is it going to be a win or a loss? Let's try and move this out of the way. Looks like it's fighting. This one is fighting. It's fighting for dear life. There you go. So this one gave you some type of risk to reward. So remember, you can change the risk to reward settings as well. I've just got mine set to a 1 to 3 at the moment. So you can actually change it to a 1 to 2, 1 to 1.5, it's whatever works for you. So you can actually test this multiple times. So you can see this one's almost turned into a winner. You can see how close it was to a loser. So this was like a 1 to 2.8 probably. If it does go on to like go back and lose. Remember, I've set it to a 1 to 3. So 1 to 3 means you're going to have more losers, but obviously when you have winners, you're going to move further up the list, basically, as you know. This was a 3-week trade, but you definitely would have closed that trade before. I'm not going to lie to you. You would have closed that before. But you get the point of it, guys and girls. Obviously, I'm not going to bore you with this running extremely slow, but you get the point of it. If you leave it, obviously, if you're not in a Zoom call as well, because the Zoom call that's doing this to it. If you're not in a Zoom call and you actually leave it, now it's running a little bit faster. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go. I didn't do that though. I just paused it and then it ran. Boom. Then that trade won. You see there. So it did pick up the trade, but you can see what it was trying to do in between all the nonsense it was trying to do. There was another winner there. So even though you lost those trades, there was 2 winners. You can see this was a winner as well. This gap here. Boom. That was another 3R winner there. There's another winner there. You can see. This one was a loser. This one would have been a loser. It's probably because I paused it. That's why it's not saying win or lose anymore. But replay mode does this though. I don't know why it does it, but at least it's running faster now anyway. You get a point of it. That was another winner there. Can you see? So obviously I've paused it. That's why it's doing that. But you get the point of it, guys and girls. Do you see my drift? This is normal trading, what you're seeing here. I'm not trying to sell people a product that is unrealistic. I'm not trying to tell people that you're going to have a 1,000,000% win rate and whatever. I'm trying to tell people that at least you're going to win and lose, but you don't have to overthink your trading. And I think if you take that aspect away from it, it should make it better for you, the idea of trading. I'm hoping so it does anyway. That is the whole point of what I'm saying here. So I'm going to pretty much leave the Zoom there so it doesn't go too long. But does anyone have any questions? Because that's literally it. And hopefully I've covered some more ground for people and shown people, again, the product, as you can see. So you can even see here, now it's coming up. Now it's stopped. You can see it says win. So this is what it's like. It's realistic trading. So if you've the best way to say it is if you're trading realistically on your live account or a prop account, you should be fine. It says, for your information, I'm not seeing a strategy table on my table in the last Zoom. Yeah, I've said it a few times to people that I've said it many times actually, not even a few. I've said it like 5 times now in the group. If you're not seeing a strategy table because of the way it's coded, remember, look how much I've got in here in the code. So obviously there's going to be 1 or 2 things that are a bit back to front. I'm trying my best to obviously go through it over time. But why you're not seeing a strategy tester is you've got to make sure first and foremost this is switched on. Yeah. And then the second thing you've got to do, yeah, is make sure that you change this table to the bottom center. It's not on the bottom left as well. What happened is I coded both of them to go on the bottom left, and you can't do that. Basically, it's overlapping. So you got to make sure the consistency table or the leverage table, should I say, the leverage and margin calculator is set to the bottom center. If you set this to the bottom center, even if this is off, if it's in the same position, it won't show this. So you need to make sure that this one is set to a different direction, table direction, and then it should come back literally. No problem this time. I'm not too sure. We'll go through that after anyway, because I don't want to put in the Zoom so it's not 10 minutes, but we'll go through it in the Zoom. I don't know why you're having all these issues with me. Yusuf. You're the only one having all these issues. I don't know why you're having all these issues, mate. I don't know why. No one else is having these amount of issues. Yeah. I'm talented. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, we'll sort that out after anyway. That's not an issue. We'll sort that out. All right, cool. I'm gonna leave the Zoom there anyway, guys and girls. Thank you for your time. I didn't want to make it long, but hey, sometimes Zooms are just gonna be long. And like we said before, I'm just gonna chop it all up into short form content. I'm just trying to get a load of videos first. So from the first video I did with Neil all the way to here, I'm gonna just chop them all up into short form and then put them on other social media platforms for people. So there'll be like 30, 40 short form 30-second, 1 minute videos. You know what I mean? So yeah, cool. All right, cool, people. Catch me in the Zoom. If you want to get Neo, let me know. Message me in Telegram, Discord. The links will be in the description before. I'm signing out. It's your boy Big John. Peace.